Imagine this, a simple coin, something you might overlook, something you might hand over for a soda or drop into a parking meter without a second thought. Yet hidden inside this small piece of metal is a story so incredible. It shook the entire world of coin collecting today on Profit Show. We dive deep into the unbelievable tale of the 2011 Philippine One Peso Coin from the New Generation Currency Series, a coin now valued at an astonishing $15 million. Yes, 15 million. One small peso that has captured the imagination of collectors across the United States and beyond. So sit tight, hit that like button right now, and make sure you subscribe, because this story isn't just about a coin. It's about discovery, passion, and the hidden treasures waiting in plain sight. Back in 2011. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas introduced the New Generation Currency Series. Modern, sleek, practical, designed to represent progress and national identity. Among those new coins was the 1 peso piece. Nickel-plated steel, gleaming silver in color, carrying the proud portrait of José Rizal on the obverse and the bold BSP logo on the reverse. It was meant to be simple, durable, and accessible, but fate had other plans, because buried within the millions minted, a tiny handful of coins emerged with a difference so rare that it would one day redefine value itself. At first glance, it looked ordinary, but under light, its surface shimmered like a mirror, its fields deep and reflective, its details sharp and lifelike. Unlike anything seen in normal circulation, this wasn't a regular strike. This was something far beyond the usual minting process. Something that numismatists, those who dedicate their lives to studying coins, would later call an extraordinary minting anomaly. The story truly began when a Filipino-American collector named Marco Alvarez, living in California, attended a small coin expo in Los Angeles. He carried with him a modest album of world coins, souvenirs from trips and family visits. Tucked among those coins was a 2011 1 peso piece. Shiny, unusually bright, but to him it was just a keepsake. He walked past tables of rare Morgan dollars, Indian head cents, and silver eagles until he reached the PG's booth, where expert graders were offering evaluations for show attendees. When the grader took a glance at the peso, he paused, looked again, then reached for a magnifier. The reflection, the sharpness, the smooth edges, the flawless finish. It was almost proof-like. Something that should have never existed for circulation currency. Whispers spread among the small crowd. Could it be a specimen strike hidden in plain sight after hours of examination, under various lighting, through microscopes, and after comparison with known strikes? PCGs confirmed what collectors could hardly believe. The coin had characteristics of a proof die strike, yet no proofs were ever officially released by the Philippine Mint that year. Soon, the coin was encapsulated, slabbed and labeled PCG Specimen 68, an almost perfect grade. Near flawless in every sense, for collectors, that grade is like striking gold, a number that separates ordinary coins from legends. Once news of the certification spread, it lit up forums, collector groups, and auction chatter across the United States. The so-called Mira Peso became an overnight sensation, sparking debates, speculation, and frenzy in the numismatic world. But how could this happen? To understand, we need to step into the world of coin minting, where every coin starts as a blank plancher, struck by dies under immense pressure, sometimes by sheer accident. A proof die, a die intended for special collector editions, gets mixed into a batch of circulation strikes, producing coins with reflective fields, frosted portraits, and exceptional detail. These errors are exceedingly rare, but when they happen, they create some of the most coveted pieces in history, much like the 1943 copper penny or the 1933 double eagle. For the 2011 peso, experts believe a proof die was mistakenly used for a few test strikes, possibly during machine calibration, and somehow, one of those coins escaped into circulation. The odds of that are 1 in millions, maybe billions, and that rarity is exactly what fuels its value. Now let's talk specifics, because true collectors love details. The 2011 Philippine 1 peso coin was made from nickel-plated steel, measuring 24 millimeters in diameter, 2 millimeters in thickness, and weighing 6 grams. The regular strikes have a duller surface and soft luster, but this particular coin, the $15 million specimen, had an almost chrome-like reflection. Its fields so smooth they mirrored objects around them, and its frosted devices created that deep cameo contrast normally seen only in proof coins. Every curve of José Rizal's portrait, every letter in Republica ng Pilipinas, stood out with perfect clarity. When numismatic experts from both PCGs and NGC reviewed the documentation, they agreed on one thing. This coin wasn't just a mint error, it was a specimen-grade miracle. NGC officials even remarked that it represented one of the most technically refined world minting anomalies they'd ever examined. Those words alone sent waves through the collector community, driving its theoretical value higher and higher until it reached the astounding figure of $15 million. Why 15 million? Because in the collector world, uniqueness commands its own price. When only one exists, there's no market cap, only passion and prestige. Investors and museums began offering private bids. Curious buyers from Hong Kong, Singapore, and the United States reportedly made offers. Yet the owner refused to sell, choosing instead to keep it as a historical treasure. And that decision added even more mystique, because once a coin becomes unattainable, its legend grows even further. Now here's where you, the viewer, come in. Maybe you've got coins at home, loose change lying around, a jar of old currency. Maybe you've never really looked closely at them. But what if one of those coins hides something special? What if your coin has an error, a misprint, or a variant strike? Coin collecting, or numismatics as it's formally known, isn't just about age. It's about condition, rarity, and story. And the 2011 peso teaches us that lesson perfectly. So let's break down what makes a coin valuable. First, condition. Numismatists use the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, where 70 means perfection under magnification. Coins graded by professional companies like PCGs or NGC hold far more value because grading provides authenticity. Second, rarity. A coin that exists in limited quantity, especially due to mint errors, becomes highly sought after. Third, historical or cultural significance. Coins that mark transitions, design changes, or political eras often become collector favorites. And finally, demand, because value always follows interest. When the $15 million peso was graded specimen 68, its condition was described as flawless. The strike sharp, the luster full, and the eye appeal extraordinary. That combination is so rare that even American proof coins seldom achieve it. That's why this 1 peso isn't just a Philippine treasure. It's a global phenomenon. But let's imagine for a moment you find a coin like this. What do? The first rule? Never clean it. Cleaning damages the surface and lowers its grade. Second, store it carefully. Use a protective holder or coin capsule. Third, document everything. Where you found it, when and how. Fourth, contact a professional grader like PCGs or NGC. They'll evaluate it, encapsulate it, and give it an official grade and serial number. That step transforms your coin from curiosity to certified collectible. Once graded, you have options. You can sell through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections. These platforms connect you directly with serious collectors. If you prefer online platforms, eBay works too, but make sure your listing is verified under the coin and paper money category. With professional photos and the certification number included, transparency builds trust and attracts higher bids. Some collectors choose private sales, where brokers connect sellers with investors, often at higher returns. Others lend coins to museums for exhibition, especially when the piece carries national or historical significance. Imagine seeing your coin displayed under museum lights, labeled as the discovery that redefined modern coinage. That's not just profit, that's legacy. And here's a fascinating fact. Coins like the 2011 peso are changing how people view modern mint issues. They prove that even contemporary coins, not just ancient or silver pieces, can achieve extraordinary value. This has inspired a new wave of collectors in the United States, looking beyond American mint products and exploring world currency, diversifying collections with rare pieces from Asia, Europe, and beyond. But let's not forget the human side of the story. Marco Alvarez's discovery wasn't about luck alone. It was about curiosity, attention to detail, and passion. The same passion that drives you to watch this video, to learn, to search, to believe that somewhere, a small overlooked object might hold life-changing value. Because in the world of numismatics, knowledge is the real treasure. Think about it. How many times have you handled coins without really seeing them? How many stories lie waiting in your pocket change? Maybe a double strike, maybe a wrong plancher, maybe a transitional error. Each one a whisper from history saying, look closer, discover me. The 2011 Philippine One Peso coin is proof that miracles don't always shine from gold. Sometimes they hide in nickel-plated steel, modest yet magnificent, a bridge between nations, a link between everyday life and extraordinary fortune. Its existence reminds us that rarity can be born from accident, perfection from imperfection, and value from curiosity. So as we close this story, let's take a moment to appreciate what coins really represent. They're more than currency. They're storytellers, time capsules, symbols of culture and art, and every once in a while, they remind us that the most valuable things in life are often right in front of us, waiting for the right eyes to notice. So if you love this story, if the idea that a tiny peso could be worth $15 million amazed you, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. Share this video with your friends, your family, anyone who loves history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. And make sure you subscribe to Profit Show, because this is where passion meets profit, where hidden treasures are revealed, and where every episode might just lead you to your next big find. Stay curious, stay observant, and keep your eyes open, because the next great coin story might start with you, and who knows, the next $15 million coin could already be sitting in your hand, unnoticed, waiting for its turn to shine, right here on Profit Show.